To be perfectly honest, it wasn't necessary to know.
I think it's pretty important to know.
Is it?
Well, I'm from this world, just to clear the air.
I know from your this. I know you're from this world.
That's the scary part.
How do you what? Besides from
It-
Haven, but yeah, as
It's
far as I know.
complicated. It's... Let's just say that things happened, and my daughter is still on the other side of that border that I can't pass.
Well, you've been looking all this time for your daughter, and we've been helping you, finding books and junk and stuff to read, but you've never told us what you're looking for. You never told us you're looking for a way to another world. That's a completely different thing than searching for a missing person. If you tell us this information, we can help you a little.
I never said I was looking for the person themselves. I said I was looking for a way to find them.
Yes, but the more information you tell us, the more likely we are to be able to help you. Unless you really don't want to find her.
I do. It's
So
just I've
give us
been
more
looking for
information.
Okay. When I passed into this world, it was over 60 years ago, and I was stabbed through the chest when it happened. I was sick for a year after waking up in this world, along with my husband. He died about 10 years ago.
I'm sorry to hear that. And when's the last time you saw her, your daughter?
Before I was stabbed in the chest, and I thought I had died, to be perfectly honest.
And you want to find a way to get to some other world?
Well, that's the only logical conclusion. The reason I was sick for a year was the flow of energy between this world and that world are different. I'm more in tune with that stuff, so I was a little sick. To be perfectly honest, I'm actually a rare species of elf, so...
Yeah, as Falana explains the last part of Zul speak up, then you're probably not from where I'm from. The flow is similar enough that there's been no ill effects that I've noticed.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't believe we are. In fact, the timelines are completely different, too. I was here...
Question.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Do all elves in your world suck at cooking?
I haven't cooked for a family in 60 years, and to be perfectly honest, me and my husband kind of ate out quite a bit whenever we hit this world. I'm a little out of practice.
I'm taking that as a yes.
Probably.
You know what? I'm killing you now. Come here for a moment.
Do you know what the name of the world would be, or what our world would call yours?
That's something I'm not too entirely sure on, because I know it's not just another plane, such as the typical cosmology.
Like
Possibly it's just a completely separate dimension that runs parallel.
if you have no idea there are other worlds, why would you name them?
Exactly.
Well, if you're gonna write a book about something, then normally you have a name for it, don't you?
There are theories, as per the incident 11 years ago, I'm pretty sure that there are theories regarding separate worlds that run in parallel now. I'm trying to find information regarding that. The
You were
lack
saying-
of information is rather disturbing.
You were saying so many words that I don't understand, but I'll do what I can to help find information for you, as long as I don't have to read too much.
Unfortunately, this could deal with a lot of reading, dealing with scholars.
And around this point, you'll hear the voice from the sword speak up. I would not worry about having to read too much yourself, my dear. As long as you find it for yourself and mine as well to read, that should be sufficient.
At the point that she's mentioned reading, all you get is a her from silence as he's flipping through the book.
Yeah.
I'm going to read the book for the rest of the journey, unless something happens. So I don't know how many hours that would probably be. You said
I'll
half a
figure
day.
that out shortly.
Okay.
And you're gonna travel onward, going up into mountains. You're not going like stupidly crazy high, and you're kind of working around little ravines and such to get in there. It's not too long. You'll probably see it after another 3 or so hours that you'll see a old stone monastery on a distant hillside, and you'll just have to spend the next probably good part of the day to get there, as you have to work your way around the cliff and back up over to that side. Crayton, you're probably going to get another 6 or 7 hours worth of reading in.
So, okay.
So say 7 hours worth of reading.
I'm turning that back. I'm turning that up to 10 then, plus 3.
Yep.
Which, along the way, Falana can explain part of her history. She's going to leave part of it out, like where she got her training. And explain that, yeah, she is a rare breed of elf. Her silver hair is proof of it.
I always knew you were a rare breed.
I'm known as a silver elf. They're the arcane-attuned breed in my world. High elves are probably more akin to the wood elves here.
Give me a sec. Rolling insight. Are you holding? You're clearly hiding stuff, correct?
She's
Yeah,
skipping over certain details, but like from what she's skipping over, it's where she was taught and everything. And it's like, do you really want to know what magic academy she was taught at?
Like,
All
do we need to know her entire life story, or just enough information to be able to have?
No, I was just getting a read on her.
Yeah, no, she's
You do know
pointedly
that fled from a kingdom at one point, but she's not giving me details on that. That would be about it.
Fair enough.
all right.
Look, I'm playing a character with skills like this, so I gotta use them.
Yep.
Or not at all.
And at some point when this is all, as this kind of finishes up, you eventually come up to the monastery itself. You see that there is a staircase going up to a set of double doors on the front. The sun is probably getting, it's not quite setting yet, but it's getting close to that point. You can see that there's several small windows throughout the place. You don't see anyone outside, but you do see some torchlight coming in through the windows. And let me move you all over to the monastery.
Oh my god, he actually prepped a map for it.
Oh yeah, time.
I think he had a map prepped last one.
Before we step out, Silas is gonna point out that Cassidy has like some
It was
just
done last
meat around her face.
It's been sitting there for 10 hours.
Yeah.
I expect that would have already been taken care of. Thanks to Azul.
Where are we?
I don't know. Did someone point it out to her?
There it is.
All right, you're down at the bottom, and
I
you're all
don't
gonna.
know what.
You gonna walk up?
Falana will, and she'll knock on the door.
All right, and as you knock on the door, there's already a figure there ready to open it up. Not that surprising, considering that the apparatus is loud. And you'll see that there is a human before you. Bald, looks very much like a monk, and he'll look over the group and notice that there are a number of elves there. Are you bringing? It's like, you bringing the delivery then? All the food that we desperately need.
Yes, however, we did come for another purpose. That was just a side excursion of ours.
Lily is currently hauling out a sack of grain from the tank.
She'll do most of our work for us to bring it out. We have a important matter to discuss.
Yeah,
And
Cassie
Falana will signal for Azul to come up.
Yeah, Zul will come up forward. Cassidy is helping Lily with the grains.
Oh, I'm gonna help out.
Yes,
too.
well, of course. Let us step inside so that we are not in their ways. And he'll kind of take several steps back, welcome you all to come in. Zul will come in next to you. He'll
Falana
motion.
will-
For the food, just head through this doorway over here and keep going straight. You'll eventually find the kitchens and the cafeteria, whatever the proper word would be, mess hall. And then the kitchens will be beyond that. Yeah, let me open the door for you. So through here?
Yeah. Whoa. I thought Lily was outside.
Oh, she was. Then I moved her in. Where exactly is the kitchen?
He told you to go straight through, follow the path fully, so you're going to have to go up.
Yep.
Up to there, and through that, that'll take you to the mess hall. Let me open that up. And beyond that, you'll see there should be a doorway on the left, which would be the kitchen.
Which I'm going...
Yeah,
I'm
that's just
going to
generic
assume
tokens
that-
for monks and such.
I'm going to assume this. Alana's going to be out here getting grain ready for Lily to carry in.
Yeah, we can assume that fell out. And at this point, the monk will turn back to address the group. Now then, my name's... excuse me. My name is Oth. You mentioned that there was another reason that you came here beyond delivering our grain. What would it be?
Have you ever heard of a poison that restricts the ki of the monks?
And he kind of looks at you for a moment, his expression turned a little dark. No, I've heard nothing of that sort. Have you encountered something like that? Does it even exist?
Falana will step right here and then push lightly on Azul's shoulder to push her forward. This monk has encountered this type of thing. She might be of a different school. However, I figure since it restricted her ki, you may be of great assistance in the situation.
And Azul will step forward and she'll begin explaining herself. Yes, you see that I was not trained in any school on this plane, and it'd be very difficult to find any of my former instructors, so we were kind of just grasping at any trains we could find, but I was inflicted by a type of poison, and when I awoke after the ordeal that it was, and she's going to skip over explicit details, I found that I could not access my ki anymore. And he'll kind of look at her for a second, and he'll just ask her to demonstrate some of her training, at least somewhat, even like that without the ki. And she'll kind of nod. She'll step back into some of her poses and go through and fighting. And as he watches, he'll nod. Yes, you're one of the schools of the four elements. Curious. I've never heard of something like that. Perhaps the High Monk would be able to tell more.
From what I can gather, it's extremely rare, potent poison.
Also, while we're here, I'm trying to find a way to travel in a new means. Would I be able to access your libraries while we're...
You should probably speak to the High Monk on that as well. I'm only in charge of the kitchen.
Thank you.
It's a nice
And he'll
kitchen.
kind of...
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, and he'll kind of nod and head off to... He'll walk out here to grab two massive things of grain, and he'll just kind of walk in with them as well, heading off to the kitchen himself.
Lily's carrying them
Hey,
in
Lily,
like
you
4
need
at a
to-
time.
You need to train more.
Well, okay, then he's carrying as much as Lily is,
Yeah.
because he's not going to be shown up.
Lily
All
will make a game of it with him.
Oh,
As you're
Can we make
walking
strafe
along
checks for
as
this?
well- yeah, and as you're walking along as well, I'm going to have Azul walk through and use her as a token to explain things, so Lily come back in a second.
Alright, you drag Falana where too?
Yeah, so just follow everyone through this side door, and I'm going to pretend he was there as well to explain where things are. This lower door here on the right, he mentions just storage. Don't worry about that. Bedrooms here as well. The set of double doors up top will take you to the main hall. Obviously, up forward is the kitchen. Up here on the side, there is a side passageway into the greater meditation area. And he'll mention that the head monk should be in there as well, though it might be best if you go into the main door through the Great Hall.
Of course.
Can you open up the door into the hall for us?
You know, Falana could probably help with a grain. I mean, she does have Tensor's floating disk for a reason.
Well,
Well,
at
this
this
is
point,
funnier.
all of the grain has been taken in.
Yeah. this
Lily
is
makes
just
quick
funnier.
work of it. And she
Yeah, at
has
this point, all the grain has been taken in. He's
Where-
just taking
Where to?
down.
I'm lost. Down.
Through double doors down here.
Okay.
We're just going to pretend Alana is there because I don't feel like moving her as well.
I'll be there in a second, guys.
Figure it out. Yeah,
There's a lot of small doors and a lot of hitboxes.
Those are actually windows.
Well, I squeezed through it somehow. Okay.
Roll a sleight of hand check.
You mean serious?
I mean serious. You kind of feel yourself get a little cramp, but you're able to squeeze through it.
Wouldn't that be acrobatics?
I said sleight of hand.
It's whatever the DM wants.
All right. And up ahead, you see that there is another set of grand double doors instead of just 2 doors side by side. And these are the most ornate ones that you've seen thus far in this hallway, full of giant statues of a elderly bald man with a bowl. You get the feeling that he's someone very important. Maybe
Krillin.
Maybe a Duda, a Huda. You're not really sure.
Gouda.
It's a
Gouda.
hoopla.
He's probably a Gouda. Probably.
Hoopla.
And pushing these ornate doors open, you are welcomed into the Great Hall, where you see there are a number of people like bowing in meditation. You see that there is a taller man, has silver hair. He is standing back by a little table at the end, and seems to be addressing another man who appears to be fairly important. The fact he has a token is metagaming on that. And the moment the doors open and you walk in, whatever they were talking about ends.
Did I catch any of it?
No. The
Okay.
door was
Don't
rather
mind.
loud with it opening.
Okay.
Lily's going to just stand back quietly.
And the man, the silver-headed man, will kind of raise his hand up and he'll kind of address the various monks there. It appears that we have guests to deal with. Would you all be so kind as to, and he's addressing the monks at this point, why don't you all go and go get a proper meal? It is around that time, and your meditation studies should be done now. And he'll kind of nod at them all. He'll glance to the other man, holding a gaze for a moment, and then they'll all kind of just disappear off through the side door over here. And he will follow. Boop. Boop. And this man will then look down at the group down here, and he will address them fully. Now then, I would be... Yes, my name is Randall. I am currently the head of this monastery and the one who is trying to get it back on its feet. What can I do for you all?
We have an interesting dilemma. We have a monk, someone who has a different training in your school, who had her key sealed by a poison. We came seeking your aid to help resolve this issue.
We also brought food.
That's not really... One moment. And come over here. Pull out a rag, put it over Lily's mouth. Okay.
Are you sleight of hand to snatch it away?
No,
Oh,
that's taken care of.
botched it.
So now Crayton somehow has a rag in his mouth underneath his mask. Somehow nobody saw this happen.
You do realize that when you are antagonistic to your allies, it really, really negatively affects your persuasion. So it's not a good idea.
It was just, you cut me off there. So, okay. Anyways. Azul, can you come here for a moment?
Yeah, and Azul will kind of step forward. Has to kind of wait back here as well by one of the torches.
This is the child that was inflicted with this poison.
You always allow that elf to speak for you? She'll ask.
Of whom?
I'm just handling all the negotiations here, apparently.
Who's
You-
he asking?
That was Randall asking.
Usually the one next to me is a loudmouth.
Who is he asking, though? Is he asking the whole group?
He was
Yeah, well,
asking in general.
No. Normally, no, but she decided she wanted to talk, so,
I'm just taking charge this time.
Yeah, Azul will kind of step forward at that point, and she'll go through and she'll explain once more. Yes, I'm a student of a very distant school, which probably no longer exists right now, taught in the ways of the 4 elements. And recently, within a week or so ago, I was afflicted by a very powerful poison, which all but killed me. And when I had woken back up, I could not access my key, and there was nothing else really that I could do. And she'll kind of go forward and she'll explain a bit more, and she'll also hold up the little amulet, and she'll make a mention that this can capture wild key in the world, and she is still able to use her abilities with the key that this gathers in, but she's not able to generate any key herself for some reason. And he'll kind of nod at this point, and the rudeness of Falana trying to gag Lily kind of seems to fade away to curiosity as he listens more and more to Azul's explanation. And by the time it's done, he'll speak up again. That's an interesting tale. Would you all be able to stick around for a day or so I can properly look into this?
Fine
Of
by me.
course. Would you mind if I had a chance to look over your libraries while we waited?
Well, I can tell you that we don't have that much properly set up in the libraries, but you might be able to figure something out, per se.
Thank you.
If you wish to locate the libraries, from the double doors where you first entered the monastery itself, you would take a right, and then you would take the first right from there.
Okay.
Would you have any information regarding, I don't know, other planes of existence, other worlds?
Well, we have a little bit of information regarding various other planes, though. What do you mean by other worlds?
Well, you've heard of the floating island in the sky, right?
Who hasn't?
I think maybe that might be from another world, and we're trying to find some more information about it.
That's quite interesting. I would know nothing about that. If you'd wish to find information regarding that, you would most likely have to track down the scholars and wizards, perhaps in Roomheim. Let me make sure that's actually the name. Make sure that's actually the name.
Limbers, be quiet.
In Roomheim, yes. Though that is still a ways from here as well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Right, now then, as for the rest of you, while you're here, feel free to make yourselves at home, though please don't interfere with much of the training and such that's going on. We do have a lovely garden off to the side here, and I'll point over to this doorway over here. You already, of course, know about our kitchens, if you brought in the food and such. And we do have a few other rooms otherwise, though nothing too significant. There is our own little area where we are preparely brewing some of our old drinks, as it's very difficult to bring stuff up here, and we're not quite to the point where we can fully support ourselves, which is why we do need these deliveries, but we are getting there. This place has taken a lot of work to restore.
I do not wish to step on anyone's toes. Is there anything that we should refrain from doing, any place we should refrain from going while we are here?
The only thing I could think of is far off to the, assuming the map is facing north, far off to the east, and it'll point out towards the garden as well. Past the garden, there is a sealed doorway, and it kind of extends down. There should be another entrance in the hallway south of there. We have not finished refurbishing those areas yet, and I would ask that you don't quite enter there. There's also a staircase that goes into a basement in a similar area, though we should have no reason to go down there. Just an old well that we drag water up from time to time.
Would it be acceptable if I observed your activities? I've always been curious about monks ever since I met Azul.
Roll a persuasion. You'll have advantage, so you're gonna fail it or pass this guaranteed.
Well,
And they'll kind of nod that. Interested in the art? Well, I'm never one to turn down a potential student, so feel free to observe.
You are not multi-class anymore, Jeeves.
I'm not going to multi-class, just going to have her
No.
observe.
No.
Thank
Stop
you very
it.
much. Thank you.
As
I
for
don't
the
know.
rest of you,
Enough levels of fighter and Lily would enough levels of monk, and it'd be better than greatsword.
no, it wouldn't. No, it
Never
wouldn't.
going to be better in Greatsword.
No, I confirm Greatsword is best.
All right, and so make a mention. If you would need a guide, I'm sure I could look at somebody. I believe she's currently occupied taking care of the various brews to make sure we have drink for the evening. Though when she comes out, I'll be sure to send you to guide you around if you have any questions. Kind of bow and then ask Azul to kneel down as he paces around her and just kind of waves his hands in a pattern. It's not like Falana watching it will realize this is not a magical incantation or anything. It just seems to be, as he goes through, the energy around everything seems to start swirling in an odd way.
Okay, she's aware of what he is.
Yeah.
Does it feel like any of the energy is coming from us?
It would say yes, but not so much that it's coming from you. What is coming from you. It's coming from everything around you, to be honest. And you can see that as it goes around Azul in general, it seems to like get close, but it can't quite reach her to flow through or anything. And he kind of continues this on for several minutes, just thinking.
Do you have any ideas?
I would need to do more research. It's too early to know for sure.
Alright, and with that, Don's gonna about face, not saying anything, start walking towards the library.
Alright.
It's not to be rude, she just has
Yeah.
her own theory.
Yeah. Alright.
Look at that token move off very slowly.
I'm
Lily's just gonna
purposely going
apologize
slow
for.
because I'm not zoomed out very far.
Lily's gonna apologize for Falana's rudeness.
It's no concern. She appears to be... Well, elves are an interesting breed. They may deny it, but they are about as varied as humans, and some of them are more of a pain than others.
Mm-hmm.
No, that one in general.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I'm just going to open both those doors.
Well,
And there's their little library for what it counts for. You see that there, when Falana, you go and you see that there are two people in there already, kind of just reading at desks. You can see that there's a bookshelf on either side, and a few more reading desks with a candle at each.
Well, Solana's gonna join them. She's gonna look through the books first and
Crayton,
start taking
Crayton's
guesses. She's also going to look into Key itself. The reason she's doing this is because Key, along with Mana, are effectively the same thing. So she's going to look into the two things, see if maybe she can come up with a solution for Azul's issue.
Yeah. And as this goes on, Randall will kind of look back at the group and he'll make a mention. Do you all intend to stay here and observe, or?
I
Go.
just got a quick question. Are you vegetarians here as well?
Typically that is the monk lifestyle, though we don't exactly have the farms set up well enough to take care of that. We have asked rangers in the area to provide us with any sort of food they can. The grains that you have brought today will be accompanying a nice set of elk meat, which we have hunted the day previously.
Oh, speaking of that, we hunted an elk today too. Do we have any leftovers?
Guess we got quite a bit we haven't got rid of yet.
Well, we're probably not going to be able to eat it all before it goes bad. Maybe we should share it.
Oh, that would be wondrous. Go speak to Oth. He's the one in charge of the kitchen.
Off.
Oth.
The one we met when we came in.
The opposite of on.
Yeah.
He's off.
Yeah, yeah.
Off.
I got an email.
Would you mind
Come on,
taking care
Cass.
of that?
Come on,
I
Cass.
was,
Give me a hand.
I was hoping I could learn something.
Yeah.
And what did you say first of all, Jeeves? Because he got cut off.
I was just asking if Crayton could take care of the elk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm asking Cassidy to come give me a hand. Move
All
something.
right, and Cassidy will go off to give him a hand.
Cassidy, no eating this. No eating it.
I won't eat it. She kind of just rolls her eyes.
It's cooked anyways.
And
You
the
know,
two of them
PJs?
will... Yeah, the two of them will head off. I expect Alana could probably... Alana, knowing how Alto's been doing, would probably go wander off to be reading stuff as well. So I'll just throw her with Alana.